Okay, so who likes food? And who likes coconuts? Who likes cake? Who likes coconut cake? So for credibility, this is the third time I made this cake. No one's died yet, so I guess it's okay. Since anybody yet, so it's all right. It's a really fun cake to make because you start it with a coconut like this, and then you end up with that. But you use, it's really fun because you start with a coconut, so you can get your husband or if you're the guy who can do it, and you get it in this round bowl. But like the guy asks you, like, it's fun for a guy. So you can get the guy into it, and then you have to do your part, and then you can have your kids like throw stuff on it, you know, get everybody in the family. I think it's funnier because it's not just, you don't just go to a store and buy a box. You're like, oh, okay, throw in some eggs and some milk, mix it together, put them in. It's a little bit different. So I'm going to tell you how to get to open the coconut and get it out to where you can use it and make it into all the different things that you need, like coconut milk and coconut cream. And I'm going to tell you how to actually make the cake and then make the frosting and put it all together so your cake. First thing you need to do is you need to get a bowl and you need to put a cloth in it and put the coconut with the 3 apples up. And you need to get like a screwdriver and a hammer, pound 2 holes in it. Something's fun because it tries to go everywhere. Then you need to turn it over and drain it into a cup so all the liquid comes out of it. And then you put it into the oven at 375 degrees for about 15 minutes, and you'll see cracks around the coconut. And if you get a flathead screwdriver, just start banging at it, or like an oyster open up thingy. It just like comes right off, and then the outside kind of, it's like brown. You got to get like, I use a potato peeler and peel it off and wash it off and get it all shiny and white. And to make it shredded, I just put it in a food processor and put it in it, chopped it up. To make the coconut milk, you get 2 ounces of the coconut and a half a cup of boiling milk, and you mix it together and cover it tightly and let it sit. And for the coconut cream, you use 4 ounces of coconut instead of 2. And you let it sit for an hour, which in my case was a good time to write my outline. You're going to need 2 round cake pans, about 9 inches or so. You need to oil it, and you need to put parchment paper or wax paper in it. And you need, so the oil helps it stick, and then you put oil on that, and then on the outside of the oil, the parchment paper. And you put flour so that the cake doesn't stick when you take it out. And you mix the dry ingredients, which are flour, salt, and baking powder, and you set them aside. And then you put the butter in, and you cream it until it's like light and creamy. You get sugar and coconut extract, and you mix it for a few minutes. And then earlier you mixed together the coconut cream and the coconut milk, and then you add like 1/3 of the dry mixture and then 1/3 of the milk and cream, and you keep going back and forth. And then you're going to separate eggs. So you just have the egg whites, and you're going to beat them until they're really like stiff. And you pull out the egg beater, it doesn't flop over. And it's really, I think I got that picture because it's not like a regular cake batter. It's not like thicker. It's a really weird texture. It's not even like a cake stuff. After it comes out kind of different. After you cook it at 350 for 40 minutes, and when it comes out, looks like that. And you have to let it cool in the pan for 10 minutes, and then you pull it out, you let it cool, and you try to cut it in half as easily as possible. And then after you let it cool, you get the water from the coconut that you drained earlier, and you put it in a spritzer bottle, and you spray the cake really good so the cake's really, really moist and tastes like coconut. And you let that sit, and then you get a double boiler, which is basically a pot with some water in it and another pot. And you have to get the electric beater again. And you mix egg white, sugar, salt, cream of tartar, and more coconut water together. And you beat it, and it goes from about this much stuff in the mama can to being about this level. Except really like big. And let's see. Oh, you beat it for 1 minute on low and then 6 minutes on high. And then 1 minute, or you add you add coconut extract, vanilla extract. And you beat it again for another minute, so it's called 7-minute frosting. You want to start with the layers that, when you cut them, because they're not always going to be even, you want to start with the ones that are less even and save the flattest ones for the top, so it looks prettier, of course. You put about 3/4 cup of frosting in the middle of each layer, and then you sprinkle it with more frosting, coconut, so there's coconut in the middle. You do that a couple more times, and then basically you just start applying frosting on the top and squishing it all over. The good part is, if pieces of the cake take off, the frosting is almost like a glue, it's really sticky, and so you can just stick pieces back in there and use it as glue. And also, they won't be round on the edges, so yeah. It won't be round on the edges perfectly, so when you put the stuff on, you can kind of fill in holes and you throw more coconut on it, kind of disguises the whole thing. So yeah, so you know how to cook coconut and open it up, you know how to make cake from scratch, and you know how to make frosting, and I have some, like, I think I have some more done if anyone wants to try some or now, or I'll just put it over there on the table.